Hey everybody, Everett's Live Music, following up last night's WTF this morning. And I got a little vulgar last night, and why not, you know? Especially in my home and on my channel, if you choose to watch it and choose to check it out. This morning I'll keep it cleaner just in case, this gets passed on or something, but I was speaking last night about killing the rhinos and such matter, just for some aphrodisiac that you think you're going to get out of it. At one point, what I want to get into today is really to call it out for what it is. They're cowards. You're a murderer to go kill these animals. And it's happened for centuries with us as acceptable behavior. And at one point you had to figure out that it's not an aphrodisiac. It's keratin, the same thing that your nails are made out of. I mean, go down to the nail trimming person down at your local salon, and have a little back alley exchange of clippings from toenails that they've been saving because they can sell them to you now for an aphrodisiac. It could be a little side hustle for them. Or go see a farrier and get some hoof clippings from a horse. Make something out of those. But this cowardice act, and it's not only that, the aphrodisiac, it's some thing in who we are. Your attempt in life to fulfill some kind of desire to dominate over animal, and in a way of like you've succeeded somehow in defeating this great beast. But the story is so fake. And the only thing you ever should have been done was shamed for who you are and what you have done. This is no trophy that you hold on your wall, the head of the animal that you didn't eat. You didn't hunt this animal. That's not hunting. That's killing and murdering. It should be called out for what it is. And most of the people that have done it, you had to have had a little bit of power and a little bit of money. And this is what you decided to do to show how much more powerful you are. You're going to charter a plane and then get a group of trackers and pay for all this stuff for them to walk you up to an animal that's not running away from you, and it's not charging most of the time. You're not out there on foot all night making fires from nothing and then hunting this thing down with a spear like some of the natives did in Africa, who should be applauded for who they are and the carbon footprint that they put on this planet that is minimal compared to us. And they've been, at times taken advantage of for that way of life and maybe having a little less intelligence. Our intelligence has outdone us sometimes. But these acts of going and killing those animals, somehow in life, this was decided to be an acceptable behavior pattern. And the children will be introduced to it as well, and told stories of it at one point or another, and some get the same desire and do the same thing and do the same thing until there's none of them left. Even then, it's like, even as I am a great hunter and I've killed the great rhinoceros or the elephant or the great lion, and all these other things. What the hell is that in you that you're trying to fulfill? And so often, so many of them, I'm telling you, man, they've been in power. You're probably well-spoken. You look really good in the spotlight. Not always, but there's had to have been so many times, man. And it leads, I just think, to further behavioral patterns that are worse off, That greed and that need and that like emptiness in some that just, you can't fill that. I don't understand where that would come from. But it's been a way of life that we've lived for a long time on the planet. Constantly taking more and more and more than you possibly could use. And leaving less and less and less for the animals and the rest of the planet, man. It's all here. It all belongs here. They're part of the planet. You're a murderer to do these things. You're not a hunter. A hunter will go and hunt animals that are not in short supply. because they would know that you're going to have to leave enough for the next generation. Not only that, you're going to eat the animal. You're going to feed your family with the food. There is a huge difference between hunters and then the murderers. I will call you that because I don't know how else to explain it. The animal's defenseless. You're not meeting it on its own terms. And the hunters, you're right, a lot of hunters don't do that either. But a hunter, like I said earlier, it's a total different mindset. We had a couple deer heads on the wall in my life. But, you had to draw your tags, and we were taught to stay within the limits and within the boundaries that are set for us. We did not step outside that. Nope. I think hit a deer one time with a car, and I don't know as though you're supposed to take them, but we did take that. But that's about it. There's no hunting out of season. There's no seeing a deer in the backyard on the farm and just shooting it. We didn't do that. I mean, actually, some of the natives, and there are other people that will, and I don't know how bad that is. I just think we should stay within our we've developed hunting to a way where it's acceptable. Tried to. I don't know as though that's even, I won't get into that, but there's a big difference, what I want to say is, between hunters and then these trophy hunters and stuff. That's a cowardice act. And what you're showing to be acceptable behavior is terrible. It happened for so long. And now there's like nothing left. There's only those two. There was 2 rhinos at one point, and they've successfully fertilized the embryos a few times. And a couple of them are in zoos and stuff. And then the ones that are left in Africa, you got 24-hour watch. Because of this way of life that we've developed. It has to be seen for what it is, and then you have to understand that's part of the problem that happens with all of us. I've said before, right here in this Vegas Valley, dude, they overdeveloped. The river's running out of water. It might come back, but now it's less lawns, smaller pools. The next generations are going to have less, and there'll be no more room for expansion. You're going to have to figure out how to bring water, but you don't bring the water first. So the pattern you're showing us is you take as much as you want, and you'll tell us and tell your children to work hard and save, and then when you have enough, then you can do the next moment. You'll get you get the house. But first, you have to take care of the other things, right? You try to develop that, I would think, as a parent. And what's frustrating with me is trying to talk to the child about this stuff and then watching it happen around me. And the only thing that's doing it is greed and a need for more because of the money. And you put all of those things before what is right. You definitely walk all over the principles that have been set before us with your purposes and what you need and what you think you want, and you easily cross the line. For those, and it's always going to be those that have the power and the money. And the rest of us, we have to just follow along and watch the repercussions and the fallout of the devastation and pick up the pieces as we go along. For some people in the valley, I'm sure maybe you got a couple houses around the country or different place. But for most people, man, you're going to be stuck in one spot. And you're going to put all you got in there, and you're going to depend on your people that are making the decisions and running things to make the choices that are best for us. I think somewhere along the line it is that mentality that I will take whatever I want. It was like that doctrine of discovery that was spoken about a while ago, and how you could go around the planet at one point and just take whatever you wanted as long as you were blanketed by this doctrine of discovery and sheltered by the some of them would use the Bible. You use whatever you have to. It's weird. And then other people suffer because maybe if they enjoy that kind of book or that kind of teaching, they are in the same group of those that have abused it for their own need. It's really important for me to try and share a message today and a point of view that demonstrates at times, man, through the history, and we've done it so many times, and we're still doing it. On one level or another. Taken without asking, and just, whether it's murdering the animals for some other an inferior complex maybe you have inside. I don't know how that is something that is like looked upon like, wow, you really did it. Yeah, you really did do it, didn't you? Wow, that's terrible. I mean, but go down to your local toenail if you're one of those people. I don't think it is, but, get some toenails or something. But just there's an importance to see in like that way of thinking and stuff, and how dangerous it is. And it's been before us for a long time. And when we speak about it and stuff, we speak about it, but it's hard to really take action against it. I've been trying. I write some music. I got some other shout outs and stuff. I'm just, hit me back. We'll talk some more on it, and it's just important, I think, for us to see what happens around us and recognize it and want changes and want to talk about it openly. Don't have to be scared. Don't have to hide, and stop saying the problem and everything is like drugs and alcohol. It's not that I'm like all for it. I want everybody like, But some of the therapy and stuff that comes up, it's from the way society is, dude. The biggest problem will always be money. That's fueled it all. I tell the kid, if there's sex, drugs, and money involved, be careful. Because people do terrible things for any one of them at times. You're easily compromised. Your principles can be easily compromised for them. It's not that sex and or drugs and alcohol are good or not, but in moderation, everything. But just the idea that certain things and some of the therapy people need, not everybody feels the same about life. Get up and go. I gotta have more. We've been doing that for so long. Take a break. Let's breathe for a little bit, man, and just chill. How would we do this? We talk. We get conversations going. I found out my comments aren't coming through at the moment, and I checked yesterday with the kid, and we were like looking at it, and the comment thing is turned on, but for some reason she tried to make a comment and she couldn't make a comment back. So either give a thumbs up, thumbs down if you check it out. It would be really beneficial for all of us. And I'm just trying to talk about some of the things maybe others won't talk about at times. They think it's taboo or don't say that. No, but we're so terrible to one another and the planet and the animals at times. I mean, we steal and cheat one another and lie to each other all the time for money and other things, whether it's sex and drugs and money and power. I got a lot of that in my music, and it's important to have, I think, a person that wants to fight for what's right. So you're doing it through your words, you're doing it through a message, and you're seeing things for what they are and trying to let's stop lying to one another as to what's happened, what we're doing, and what we're going to do. Because to just keep having less and less and less is terrible. So many things are going away, and the kids aren't going to get to see them. That's so unfair. It needs to be said. The other one I swore yesterday, if you get to see that one, because it's all, and I'm not shy about any of that. I've tried a couple messages trying to be a little funny, because it is. I mean, I use humor as a way of therapy myself, because I laugh just about everything off eventually. You have to, and just keep going. We can't stop. I tell her too, that's our armor, dude. We do what we're supposed to do. We take care of business, and then we speak occasionally when we get a chance and try to see things for what they are. But we don't stop and we don't just give up. But we gotta be willing to make changes. Willing to talk openly and to stop using one another and other things to like fill the emptiness in people and stuff. It's a weird thing that's become part of us. Anyway, morning shout out after the WTF. This is a WTF too, but I kept this one cleaner, so it's not everything in importance, but maybe someday it'll be hit up by somebody else, another younger group, and I'll put this one out there for the kids. So, but let's see ourselves, man, and remember history, and do not let that be erased. It has been done. Genocide to some of the animals and stuff, dude. Like, for what? These creatures belong here. Not that they've been, we could say that they've been here longer than us. All those things are true, but it's just, why would you take that away? For what? People kill people more than anything, and we're so afraid of so many animals. We got so many scare shows about sharks and bears and lions are going to attack us, and it's crap. But yeah, I'm going to say crap. It's crap. We are our greatest threat to ourselves. We always have been. We're more unpredictable than any of those animals. People are terrible at times. And to see someone go out there and kill those great beasts, man, it makes me upset. But there's big differences to be seen in a lot of this stuff as what a hunter is and what some of these other people do. That's to me very important. Things we need to talk about. I'm going to get that comment thing fixed. Try to, at least. But peace. Have a good one.